What's going on, guys? It's Austin from the Second Militia. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Glock 43, and I am... Sorry, kind of lost my train of thought. Alright, so I've done some things to it. When I got this gun originally, it had a stipple job. I touched up some of the stippling and cleaned up some of the lines, but it was pretty much basic. I put a 3.5 pound ghost connector in it, and then I ordered a trigger from Wheaton Arms. Actually, let me see, give Mr. Wheaton a plug here because he was more than helpful, more than friendly to our channel, and he actually helped us save a little bit of money in purchasing this this trigger. Wheaton Arms, you can check them out online. Their contact information is on there as well. One thing I love about that company is when you call, you speak to Mr. Robbie himself, and he's a good guy. So before we go on any further, just to go ahead and show you safety nuts that the gun is clear. I had a snap cap in it, chamber's cleared, you can't shoot nothing with a snap cap. So we changed out the trigger and started small pretty much. Changed out the trigger, Cerakoted the slide. The factory trigger was Cerakoted, and I wanted a flat face, and I heard about Wheaton Arms through Such, believe it or not, and I said, hell, I'll give them a shot. Went to their website, checked out their merchandise, very reasonable. Called, spoke to Mr. Robbie, and he's actually going to be on the Instagram live review with us, so he can tell you all a little bit more about his products and his trigger. So after we did, the touch up on the stippling trigger, we went ahead and ordered a Agency Arms threaded barrel for it. Now this is their standard series. Realistically, a threaded barrel is a threaded barrel. It's got a tighter lockup than the factory does. It's got a thicker chamber than the factory does, and you can actually shoot reloads out of this barrel. But that might interest some of y'all, but the reason I got it is because I've been thinking about running a compensator on it, but I'm still kind of on the fence about it. But these are going for a really good price right now, so I said, hell, I'll go ahead and grab it while it's on sale before I end up having to pay $180 to $200 for a barrel. And by the way, some of these accessories are ridiculously expensive. That's why I went with the Wheaton Arms trigger versus any other brand, is because Wheaton Arms is very reasonably priced on everything. Their barrels, everything is just reasonably priced. So we put the connector in it, put the trigger in, and for those who say, oh, you can't carry a gun with an upgraded trigger, you can if you can reasonably explain it. The reason I have an upgraded trigger is so that if I ever am in a self-defense shooting, I can, whenever I squeeze the trigger, I don't miss my target. It makes for quick, accurate follow-up shots. Not only that, it don't cause me to jerk the firearm. But, some people are on the fence about that. But just to take it a step further, the only thing I changed out was the trigger shoe itself. So we're still on the factory Glock trigger bar. It's got a 3.5 pound ghost connector, like I said, and this thing is such a sweet shooter. Yesterday I went and put 200 rounds through the threaded barrel, and so far I have 400 rounds with the trigger on it. And the only thing that is upgraded, or the only thing that... I lost my train of thought, sorry guys. The only thing that, if I had to complain about this system, is that I'm not done Cerakoting it yet, because this is awesome. People complain about the rounds and how it does not have enough rounds with it only being a 6+1 gun. Well, I'm not going to pull this holster out of the mag. Well, this mag out of this holster, I might. But you can get 10 rounds into this gun, no problem. And yes, this is live ammunition, so I will not rack the slide, but it allows you to get a firm purchase. That's 9 rounds plus 1 in the pipe. So you can be up there with, you know, the same round capacity as the SIG P365, but the SIG does offer a 12 round extended base plate, and you know, the SIG is an awesome gun. I give it to them. But me personally, I like the Glock 43. I like the aftermarket support that it has, and I like how you can make it your own. Now, the reason I waited until I got this mag caddy for the 43 is because this is going to be my summer EDC. I've put enough rounds through this firearm to know that it is reliable and it's going to go bang when I put my booger flicker on the boom boom switch. And I mean, it's proven itself. The rounds, to keep it consistent, I've used Federal, you know, what are these? 115 grain full metal jacket. That's what I shoot with. I have ran some Federal Hydra Shock. I've ran some Sig Sauer V Crown ammunition through it, and I run Hornady Critical Defense. The reason I run Hornady Critical Defense is because it was made for small guns, you know, so you could have the expansion out of a short barrel. But this system is such an efficient system. It's comfortable. It don't stab you. And people say, well, if you know, appendix carry correctly, it don't stab you. I agree to disagree, because there are some holster manufacturers that are, you know, it's a solid piece of Kydex, and no matter how high you got it up, you could have it sitting on your titty and it's still going to stab you. But this gun so far has been amazing. And though I'm not done with it, I wanted to give y'all a brief review on it, because I mean, this thing has been phenomenal. And if you're looking into buying one, I would definitely buy one, and the first thing I would do is change out that trigger. Simply because the Glock trigger, you've heard of people talk about, you know, them getting blisters on their finger from shooting so many rounds through a Glock gun. Well, I experienced that, and it was a pain in the ass. And what this flat face trigger does is it pretty much takes up all the travel and the slack. So as soon as you acquire it, you're there at the wall, and then it breaks. I mean, it is. And then the reset is short and sweet. I mean, it's just an awesome gun. It does have some upgraded sights on it, because Glock sights just absolutely suck nuts. But overall, this gun has been phenomenal, and this is definitely going to be my summer EDC. Now, I do carry a Glock 19 Gen 5, and I am working on that. I'm actually in the process. It won't, you know, I'm not decking it out like I did this, because I took this on as a project gun, and it's been awesome thus far. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be changing the color of the frame. We're going to be Cerakoting that, and though I'm not going to tell you what we're going to Cerakote it in until we're done, because I don't want nobody to take my idea, because I've yet to see a gun Cerakoted in OD green in this other color that we're going to be Cerakoting on. It's going to be very unique, to say the least. I've thought about getting a TLR 6 to put on it, but I like this holster so much, I'm going to actually check with G-Code and see if they offer a holster that will support the TLR 6, though I won't be using it for the laser, just mainly for the light. Now, onto the G-Code holster. This holster has been awesome. I mean, this holster has been super awesome. When I bought the firearm, I got the holster itself with it. And so I called up G-Code and was like, hey guys, you know, I was trying to order a mag caddy, had some issues. Well, they walked me through it. I got the mag caddy ordered, and normally they have a back time of 4 to 6 weeks on orders that they have to make. Well, when I ordered it, it said it was an in-stock item, and it took about a month because I kept calling and harassing, and at one point I was getting different stories from different people. There's a lady there named Jennifer, and she was very nice. She got it expedited, and she actually got it out the door when she said she got it out the door. And when I called and spoke to a gentleman named Michael, he told me that it had not been made yet, so I don't know if there was just some kind of confusion or if Jennifer pulled some strings for me, but I mean, you know, they were absolutely awesome, and they were more than understanding as to why I was trying to get this Mad Caddy so quickly so I could get y'all a review. Wheaton Arms, their shipping time is, you know, they don't play around, so as soon as you order it, it gets sent out that next day, and they get it to you as quickly as possible. I actually ordered this at the beginning of January, the Mad Caddy, and I ordered this, it was at the, it was towards the, see, if I ordered this at the beginning of January and it took about 4 business weeks, it was I don't know, let's just say it was like January 15th or some weird number like that when I ordered the trigger, and they actually came in on the same day. I was overly excited, and you know, I couldn't wait to get this to the range, and this thing, I mean, it performed phenomenally, you know. And not only that, I've looked at the SIG P365, and you know, I was going to do that for my summer EDC, because this is what this channel is about, is, you know, testing and evaluating guns and just punishing them at the range with putting as many rounds as I can afford to put through them, and just, you know, pretty much burning the shit out of them if you can. And this gun didn't give up. It actually, you know, it controlled the heat very well, compared to, I went and, you know, was shooting my 19, the Gen 5, and, you know, I don't know, I had probably 100 rounds through it at that point. I mean, and it was pretty rapid fire, but it wasn't a complete mag dump, and shot way more out of this in the, you know, the same amount of time. I actually shot about 200 rounds for that same amount of time with this, and you know, was able to break it down, and because I was checking the internals, you know, I want to make sure that the gun stays up, so I was checking everything out, and it handled the heat very well. The Gen 19, it burnt the shit out of me, but you know, it's a Glock 19, it's going to run regardless. So this gun right here, it's an amazing little gun. You know, you kind of got to pick your poison when you're choosing everyday carry firearm, because you know, you got double stacks, single stacks. It's more of what you're comfortable with, and you know, realistically, I'd base what you carry and what you're comfortable with around your environment. If you live in a shitty part of town and you know, people are getting robbed left and right by multiple attackers, then I would suggest not to get the 43, but to get a 26 or a 19. I mean, and that's just my personal opinion. You know, the SIG P365 is a good option, you know, for areas like that. But just with SIG's history in the fire pins breaking, I did a review on one, and you know, it was a brief review. I rented it, no telling how many rounds it had before me, but we punished the shit out of it that day, and it functioned pretty well. We had a double feed, a stovepipe. We had a couple issues with it, but nothing too crazy. But it was overall a good gun. I would definitely say that the SIG P365 is a gun that is meant to be, you know, shot a little, carried a lot. And this gun is meant to be, you know, ran through the ringer and carried as much as you possibly can, because this gun isn't going to give out on you. I did replace, I already told you, I replaced the connector, the barrel, and the trigger. But like I said before, we're running pretty much all factory. You know, on the trigger shoe, we're running the GLOCK trigger bar. The reason I replaced the connector is because this trigger was shit, and I took the GLOCK factory trigger bar, polished the dog shit out of it to where you could see yourself in it. Put the Wheaton Arms trigger on it, and this trigger is so much better. I mean, just so much better. But you know, we're putting our own twist on it, and we'll keep y'all updated on the journey along the way. and, you know, see how it turns out, especially after we get the frame Cerakoted and the trigger Cerakoted. And I mean, I think you guys are just going to be blown away. I'm not going to be doing any more logos on it. That's about as much of a logo I'm putting on it as right here on the barrel, because, you know, it's subtle, but, you know, when somebody sees it, and if you know of the Second Militia, you're going to know what that is. So we're also going to be getting the base plates Cerakoted as well. I don't carry it with this pinky extended mag. I actually carry it with a Terran Tactical +1 base plate, so I got 8 rounds in it at all times, and then, you know, if I need to reload, I can put 9 rounds in it, and hopefully that would get me out of a shitstorm. But it's not quite warm enough to wear shorts yet. Granted, here in Tennessee, we have had some warm days where I was able to carry it. And don't get me wrong, I can still completely conceal Glock 19 Gen 5, but I've put a lot of work into this over the winter, and, you know, I really enjoy carrying it, and especially shooting it. I mean, it's just a breeze to shoot, and that barrel, you know, people talk about the accuracy on aftermarket threaded barrels, and I've heard a lot of good things about Agency Arms. Well, when I went to shoot it, and I put the 200 rounds through the barrel, I mean, you could definitely tell the difference in accuracy and in the lockup whenever the slide would retract and, you know, load the next round. I mean, it just, I don't know. You'd have to shoot it to understand, but this gun is an awesome gun. I give it a thumbs up. You know, I definitely feel that anybody that is looking at this gun should get it. You can do a few small upgrades, and, you know, it'll be in there. Now, excuse the phone ringing in the background. With that being said, you guys will be getting a review on the Glock 19 Gen 5 coming soon. I'm doing some things to it as well, to where nothing major. I'm keeping it very simple, very basic. But I've done a few things to it for my liking and the way I like to carry it. So, like I said, you guys will be getting a review on that as well here soon. But, you know, I don't have anything but good words to say about this gun. So, if you're thinking about it, go ahead and grab it, because there's definitely room for fucking potential. Alright, guys. See ya.